Hi everybody, this is Josh Kochlik, and today, welcome back to Kyle Kochlik Channel 01. And today we're going to read Chapter 5 of Who Was Leonardo da Vinci. Okay, here it is, Chapter 5. Chapter 5, Wandering. In 1499, when the French attacked the Duke, lost its power. He fled Mullen. Then later on, he was captured. He died a prisoner in France. In December of that year, Leonardo left Mullen to Sully. Sully went with him. So did another old friend. Leonardo did not have a real home again. For 16 years, he took very little with him as he traveled from place to place. Only the most important things did he keep with him, like his notebooks. In Milan, he had started keeping notebooks full of drawings and ideas. Leonardo kept filling up notebooks for more than 30 years. His plan was to write an encyclopedia about everything. Like the horse statue, this was another great big project. And like the horse statue, it was a job he never completed. However, the notebooks are still priceless treasures. The pages are illustrated with beautiful drawings of everything that had interested Leonardo, that are among the most beautiful drawings in the world. There probably were a total of about 13,000 notebook pages. But after his death, many pages were torn out and sold. So some notebooks were cut apart, some disappeared, some were rediscovered hundreds of years later. Today, there are 10 different collections of Leonardo's notebook pages. Only half the pages, about 6,000 pages, are known to exist. They are in different places all over the world. There is always the hope that someday more notebook pages will turn up. Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft, brought a collection of pages. It is all about water. It is called Codex Atlanticus. Sometimes it is displayed in museums. In it are drawings of waves and currents, drawings of ripples in water, drawings of a drop of water as it splashes into a puddle. Leonardo's eyes were so sharp he could see all by himself. What today's high-speed cameras can reveal, the experience that Leonardo did with water. In all the notebooks, his handwriting is reversed. This is called mirror writing. A mirror must be held up to the writing before it reads correctly. Why did Leonardo write this way? Nobody knows. He was left-handed, so maybe writing this way came most easily to him, or he may have wanted to make it hard for anyone else to read the pages. Maybe he worried that other people might steal his ideas. Maybe he just wanted to keep his ideas secret. Leonardo's interest in water went all the way back to his childhood, from the storms he saw. But water was only one of the subjects he planned to cover in his encyclopedia. He wanted to understand and explain light. What was it made of? He wanted to understand how eyesight works, why birds can fly, and all the different parts of the human body. He came up with a list of about 20 big subjects. Just one page of a notebook might have a little drawings of bird wings and feathers, along with thoughts about music and ideas for new weapons or sketches on building dams. Leonardo never stuck to one subject. He'd go back and forth among many. The book pages are crammed with writing and beautiful drawings. It's almost as if whatever jumped into his mind, he put down on the page. Well, what the notebooks reveal is the mind of a true genius. Leonardo was interested in all kinds of machines. Machine parts interested him too. Screws and pigs, and joints and hooks and springs. It may be strange to think of a drawing of a door hinge is as beautiful, but when Leonardo drew one, it was. He wanted to invent vehicles for people to use on land, in the air, even underwater. His design for a bicycle used a chain, just like bikes do today. He designed a parachute and something like a submarine. One of his notebook drawings shows a flying machine with a motor blade at the top. It was meant to twirl around and around, like a helicopter. Leonardo was sure that one day people would fly, he said. It lies within the power of man to make this machine. The story is that Leonardo would go to the marketplace where he would buy birds in cages. Then he'd bring them home and set them free. How did they flap their wings? Well, what made them able to fly? They were able to land safely without breaking their legs. He longed to discover the answers. He made lots of drawings of birds' wings, and how the feathers grew on wings. He studied bats too, and he made drawings of their wings. He tried to make wings for other people for people that worked by using pulleys, cranks, wheels, and shock absorbers. One drawing had a pair of black pedals and a hand crank to make the wings move. Using another pair, a person would have had to flap the wings. Using muscle power, the wings' bones would be made of wood, the muscles from leather, and the skin from clothes. Did Leonardo actually build any wings? Did anyone try them out? Nobody is sure. In the notebooks, he mentions testing the wings on a hill near Florence. If so, he may have jumped from the top of the hill and glided in the air for a little while. But he could not have flown. The wings would not have worked for one reason. First, they were way too heavy. Also, it takes a lot of force to lift a heavy object from off the ground and keep it in the air. The force of human power wasn't strong enough, and in Leonardo's day, engines with strong power had not yet been invented. Of course, Leonardo was right. People did learn to make flying machines, but it didn't happen until December of 1903. That is when the Wright brothers' airplane flew for 12 seconds. That was almost 400 years after Leonardo died. He was a man way ahead of his life. For a while, Leonardo worked for another duke in Italy. His name was Sincere Borgia. He was power-hungry and bloodthirsty. Leonardo designed weapons for the duke's troops to use in battle. Leonardo did not believe in war and referred to it as a disease. But he did enjoy designing new and better war machinery. Some of the weapons look like something you'd seen in a fantasy movie. There is one of a giant-sized crossbow. It could shoot several crows at one time. It was so big that several soldiers would have had to operate it. It also designed a strange contraption with long blades jutting out from it. It was supposed a strap onto a horse. The rider could attack his enemies, who could get close enough to hurt him. Leonardo thought of the human body as a machine too. In fact, he considered it the most perfect machine. Leonardo wanted to understand the human body in the way he came to understand horses, inside and out. He wanted to figure out all the different parts of the body work together. The best way to do this was to dissect bodies. This means cutting into a dead body. Peeling back up different layers reveals how the body is built. Today, medical students learn about the body by doing a dissection. Sometimes doctors do dissections to understand why a person died. But Leonardo's time was very different. Medical students rarely ever did a dissection. They learned from books instead. The work of cutting into a dead body was considered too horrible. Leonardo, however, was determined to see for himself. When he lived in Milan, he had done some dissections of bodies. He wasn't a doctor or medical student, so what he was doing was illegal. Later in his life, he returned to Florence several times. There again, he did more dissections. It is believed he worked on about 30 bodies. What he learned from them was put down in his notebooks. The drawings he did of the human body are astounding. In Florence, he had a workshop in a hospital. He worked at night, and he worked alone. The work was indeed disgusting. He hated it, but he did it anyway. The drawings were not discovered until long after Leonardo died. Nothing like them had ever been seen before. The drawings of a foot, for example, show it from 3 sides, moving in different ways. Leonardo also did cut away drawings. He would draw a foot where one part had no skin. There was to let the muscles underneath show through. He'd draw muscles to look like strings or ropes. This was a good way to show which way a muscle pulled a limb. He'd also leave out some of the muscle to show the bones. With these drawings, there is no need for words. The drawings are better than words. They show everything exactly as it appears. If the body was a machine, then it should be impossible to build a mechanical man. In 1495, Leonardo made a design for the first robot. There is some evidence that he built it too. His robot was a full-size knight in armor that could sit up, move its head, and wave its arms. Again, Leonardo was hundreds of years ahead of his time. Alright guys, that was chapter 5 of Leonardo da Vinci. Okay, so make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and peace out.